Good morning. Today is the end of April 2018. I hope your spring has been started very well, but I think that's case by case, depending on where you live. And I apologize for my screen in advance because my picture or my imaging is not coming through very clear. Like I have all this little clouding coming through. So, and no, I don't need to clean it. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway. Again, welcome. Thank you for joining in my continuing education this morning. Today we're going to talk about 4 bottles of essential oils and the benefits we get out of each of those bottles, because I think a lot of people don't realize what the benefits we get out of these 3 bottles. It's like there are so many things that we can get out of them. And what I'm referring to is lemon, lavender, peppermint, and the blend On Guard from doTERRA. So most of you know that I use doTERRA essential oils. I use them for a reason. The biggest reason is the integrity of the company and their CPTG, or Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. What that means to me is that I get the same quality every time I get that bottle of oil. Every time I order it, it's going to do the same for me on a medicinal level if that's what I'm using them for. I think that's very important for us. And I know that 85% of the essential oils that doTERRA does have are exclusive to them, meaning that other people have lavender, other companies have lavender or peppermint, but we go directly to a grower, and it has to meet that quality standard, that CPTG, in order for us to use it. If we do find a grower that has product matter that meets that standard, then we are negotiating contracts with them. But not only are we getting the best essential oil that we could get, because it starts from the ground up, Mother Nature has a factor in that, and where it's grown has a factor in that, to get the best medicinal out of it. But not only do I get that great essential oil every time, we are helping improve lives all around the world. This is a company that is really big on giving and being of service to other people. And I want you to keep in mind that that's the doTERRA culture, is servicing others. And who can you serve and how can you serve, right? There's a lot of ways that we can do that. And working around in the community is the number one. But I get to help in my health and wellness, and I get to help along with that, help someone somewhere else that I've never been or maybe never will be, then I think that's a win-win. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to be a humanitarian one way or the other, and this is a beautiful way to do that. So a little bit about me. I actually, for those of you that may watch this recording or someone has shared this with you, I'm Diana Hinkle, and this is my continuing education. So we're not here to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. All we're doing is giving you suggestions on using essential oils and other products that doTERRA has, and then other modalities. Lots of modalities out there for wellness, especially like, you know, your chiropractor, acupuncture, massage is another good way. So there's many, many different ways. It's finding what works for you, but understanding that your health and wellness work on a foundation of proper health, and the essential oils just kind of fall in the cracks. And so I was introduced to essential oils. Most of my knowledge was only about aromatic, you know, just smelling something good, right? But using for health and wellness, never crossed my path, never crossed my mind. And I left the dental field after 30 years of service in that particular world. And actually, when I found out more about essential oils and using the Lifelong Vitality, changed my life and my husband's life totally around, that people were asking what were we doing. That's when I got curious. that's when I said, hey, people need to know. Education. Education is knowledge, and knowledge is power. Okay? That is so amazing how that actually works for us. So today, let's talk about that. Let's talk about these 4 bottles of essential oils that are like lifeblood, right? In my world, there's so much you can do with these. So let's talk about lavender first, okay? Lavender is one of those particular oils that a lot of people will have an experience with lavender, the flower, or the pollen, and they're extremely allergic to it. So if someone tells you that they're allergic to lavender, please keep in mind that that's a real thing for them, okay? So it's really important to understand that if they don't want to smell it, don't let them smell it. Now, lavender has so many different faces, I'll tell you. So this is the lavender, and this is my 5 ml bottle right here, okay? Now, lavender is, you can use this 3 different ways. You can use it aromatically, which is your fastest response, right? So I can just take the lid off and smell it, right? These are brand new bottles, so I'm not going to open the lid. And then you want to do that several times. So you actually have, as the evaporation process, you have little molecules attached to the hairs on your nose, and they get into the olfactory, okay? It gets into the bloodstream very, very, very quickly. So let me tell you a little bit more about aromatics. So where have you ever been that you've loved the smell and you want to smell it more? You know, you want to find out, you're investigating what's that smell because it smells so good. Then you've been somewhere where you're like, oh, wait, what's that smell? It doesn't smell very good, right? That is your brain's response to whatever it is that you're smelling. And it's the same with essential oils, anything and everywhere. So you can change someone's mood by simply smelling something, right? Because if we smell something good, all of a sudden it makes us happy. And actually, we've actually did a experiments one time, not with lavender, but with an orange. It's a citrus, obviously. And we did it with a waitress, and she got the most tips that day out of ever. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. You want to do that again? It makes everybody feel happy. And citrus usually does, okay? So we're talking about lavender. So first response, lavender, smell it, okay? Simply smell it. If you want to help calm somebody, usually lavender will work very well for that. It's a very calming oil, and that's what most people reference lavender with. It's very calming. You want to apply it, you can either smell it or you can apply it to you. So topical application is where you place it on you. There are several places that we would typically put our essential oils. One is behind the neck, which is their little soft spot, you know, right at the base of the hairline. You can put it on your bottom of your feet, which is the biggest pores. And if you have a lavender or have an essential oil that you might feel you would have a little sensitivity to, or you don't want people to smell it, put it on the bottom of your feet because it will get where it needs to go. So when we either smell or when we place an oil on us topically, 30 seconds is how fast we get a response. 30 seconds, we can have that response. It's amazing. Even if you put it at the bottom of your feet, you can have a response in 30 seconds. Doesn't matter what's going on in the body. You could have pain in the hip or discomfort in the hip, and you will, all of a sudden you might think, oh, where did that go? And it's because it's the receptors of the cells and telling the brain, hey, you're okay. All right. I know this is a little simple communication there, but I mean, it's a little more complicated, but I'm going to do it in simple terms, okay? So lavender is really good, but if some spectrum, just lavender or other oils, same thing, they work the opposite of somebody. So chemistry is a big thing when it comes to anything, even medication. Some people will take a medication that supposed to make you drowsy, but it makes them hyper. and vice versa. And essential oils can have the same effect. It's those very few that all of a sudden, instead of a calming oil like lavender is, it makes them want to do more. All of a sudden, they're so hyper you can't keep up with them, which I think is kind of interesting. So keep that in mind, right? So behind the neck, you can put it behind the ear if you'd like. If you're going to talk or have a speech, put some lavender on your throat. It's really amazing for that to help open up that chakra. And we haven't gotten into chakras, but that is something that you can, to help with. Help be very clear and be very outspoken and just keep that dialogue going. Or you can put it elsewhere. It makes a great perfume for some people. They really love that smell of lavender. So behind the ears is a good place. Or the wrist. The wrist is another place here. And it's really fun when you put specific oils on this part of on the wrist, because you'll find that they will make the blood vessels pop up more. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. So lavender itself, okay, there are several places to put it. Another place is do a foot bath with lavender. How many of you just at the end of the night, you can't shut the brain off, you just need to wind down? How can you do that? Well, you can use it you can add it into like a bath water for your feet or your bath, okay? Add it to some bath salts, or like Epsom salt is really good for that, because Epsom salt is another very good for the skin. Foot bath is great too in that way. And it helps you relax. And you can also apply it to the hands, okay? So you could use it on the hand. You could actually, there's a technique that you can do with the hands, and it's really fun, and it's called the hand technique. We probably won't get into that. We don't have the time, and I don't have someone to show you this. But if you want to understand what a hand technique is all about, go to aromatouchtechnique.com, and that's aroma, aroma, O-M-A, and then touch, T-O-U-C-H, aromatouchtechnique.com. And then in there you'll find some videos that talks about aroma touch technique, but also the hand technique is in there. And you can look at a little video that will help you, or you can read, or you just go onto YouTube. A lot of people do that. So lavender is very calming, we know that. You can also apply it to chapped lips. And our lavender, doTERRA's lavender, is something that you can take internally. If you would like to take it internally, you can. You can put it in a capsule. You can put it in some water or a tea. A lot of people like lavender tea, or a specialty drink that has a lavender flavor in it. That's really good for that. You can also apply for it's also something that you apply to the skin. Use that with a fractionated coconut oil, which is coconut oil that is the solids are taken away, and you can use that as a way to help wash your face, okay? And you can also, for those of you that love mascara, I'm not one of those. I do not use mascara, never have, and every time I added when I was younger, that would always my eyes, I couldn't handle it. So, but you can add, especially when you get to the bottom of the barrel, or it gets a little bit more clumpy, because there's so many chemicals in mascara in itself, or makeup in general. Put a drop of lavender in your tube. It will take the dryness away, for one, and it's an antibacterial as well. So that's two things you can do with that. So that's a little tip for your mascara. And you can also, if you have your favorite lotion, put it in a lotion, and you can use it that way too. Okay. Let's see. Making lip balm with lavender is awesome. All right. Now we're going to talk about lemon. Okay. So I said earlier that when I was talking lavender, I talked about lemon being something that you can, well, excuse me, I talked about how for the chapped lips, right? But lemon is another one that we can use for cleaning. It's an antibacterial, it's citrus, okay? And I forgot where I was going with that, so I'll think about it here again in a second. I totally lost my thought. You can add it to your water. Lemon is very good to help flush out toxins in the liver, okay? We're exposed to toxins every single day, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you're eating healthy and exercising. We're still in environments these days that our foods, our air, everything we touch has so many toxins that we're exposed to. We have so much plastic that we eat out of or that we drink out of, and that's pulling those petrochemicals. Okay, their plastic is a petroleum-based product, so we are, no matter how you look at it, we're getting exposed to toxins. You can diffuse it. You can put it on you topically. Now, if you do use lemon all the time, or if you're using it topically, please don't go out into the sun because it will make you burn because it's photosensitive, which means that if any citrus oil, lemon, or anything, wait 24 hours to go out in the sun because you will tend to burn a little bit more. However, if you happen to get a sunburn, use your lavender essential oil or use your sunscreen and put some lavender in it, and it will help soothe that sunburn, okay? It's amazing for that. I keep lavender in my kitchen because lavender is something that if I get burnt, I can put lavender on it. And it's amazing. Even I've had other things, and lavender's been the best so far, that will keep my skin from feeling like I've been burnt. And I can put it under water after that, and it doesn't hurt me. So lavender is that great thing for the sunburn. So don't go out in the sun until at least 24 hours after using any citrus. You can add it to a drop of honey or a drop of essential oil to honey. Honey is really good. It's very good to soothe your throat, and it's great in the honey because honey is one of those we like anyway. But add that to a drop of your essential oil to the honey, and it helps you with that sore throat. Again, we can dilute it in a fractionated coconut oil. Now, I talk about coconut oil because you should always think about using a carrier oil of some kind. Okay, carrier oils like fractionated coconut oil will help keep that essential oil there wherever you put it. Actually, it makes it a better experience. But fractionated coconut oil with lemon are really good to put on conditioning your fingernails. So think about putting your fingernails, okay, and use fractionated coconut oil with a drop of essential oil, and then add that to each one of your fingernails, and it helps condition them. You can also add a drop of lemon or even peppermint on your toothbrush after you use it. It helps in reducing the bacteria that growth on your toothbrush, which a lot of us don't think about. Of course, we already know that if we put a drop, or if you're cleaning your house, you can use lemon. The countertops is great, smells great, right? But some of you may not like lemon. You might not want another citrus, like maybe you like lime better, or maybe you like this fragrance of orange, or you can combine those. But you can add it to water, which is really good because you add it to water and then you can actually spray your counter. You have to shake it every time, right? Because water and oil don't mix. And then spray your countertops and wipe them off, okay? Smells amazing. It's really good for removing gum. How many of you women out there with your kids or grandkids and you've gotten gum in their hair and you're like, oh, how do you get that out? Lemon is extremely great for doing that. Okay, it does get that gum out of the hair. It's also good for dry erase boards. How many of you have a dry erase board at home that you're like, you've used it so many times you just can't erase everything? Use your lemon. Lemon is awesome to get the residue of that board off. It's crazy, but it does it. And it's not harmful to us, okay, but it's releasing what it needs in order to clean it up, okay? And it's also good for fabric, okay? So don't think that essential oils will stain your clothes, because they shouldn't, okay? A good essential oil, or I should say a pure essential oil, should not ever stain your clothes. Which leads me to tell you that not every essential oil is the same. Just because a bottle says 100% pure on the label doesn't mean that's all you're getting, okay? FDA does not regulate essential oils, and so in order to label it as saying 100%, you only need 10% in the bottle. The rest can be something else. Okay, so keep that in mind the next time you look at an essential oil bottle. Do your research. Where does it come from? What else is in that bottle, so that you really truly know where it's coming from. Okay, and that's important to me because I don't want any more toxins in me. Okay, we're exposed to enough. We don't need more. Okay, so we know how to clean, and you can use it as a furniture polish. Okay, a good olive oil, and I mean good olive oil. That's another thing. Is check your olive oils. Where did it come from? If you see that it's coming from several different countries, their product, you're not really getting a really good olive oil. Okay, you're getting olive oil, but you're not getting what you think you're getting. Okay, think about that. Let's see, what else can I tell you about lemon? You can take it topically. It is meant for consumption. And for doTERRA, you can actually, there is a supplement fact on the back of the bottles, and let me show you a bigger one here. So it'll actually say, it says dilute, let's see, for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounce, okay? And there's also that CPTG on there as well, okay? So when there's it says essential oil supplement, okay? That means that through doTERRA, you can use it internally, which means that it meets the GRAS standard, which is generally regarded as safe for consumption. Okay, that's an important note to understand. Read labels, learn to read labels. Essential oils, food, everything. Read labels, learn how to read those labels. Okay, peppermint. Peppermint is kind of like, well, these are all jack of all trades, okay, peppermint. You can take peppermint internally. You can use it for upset stomach. You can use it for nausea. You can just inhale it and it will take care of nausea. You can use it topically. Now, peppermint can be a little bit more of a sensitive essential oil, so be careful when you apply it topically, okay? Make sure that you're not going to be one of those that's sensitive. If you do, put an essential oil on you and it feels like it's burning, like a burning sensation, or your skin turns a little red, that's not an allergy, first off. That's just sensitivity, typically. Allergy is something different. If you feel like your throat's closing, that's definitely an allergy, okay? If you can't breathe well or you feel like your throat's closing, please, go to the emergency room or call 911. Okay, if that's an important thing to know that. But a red skin is not necessarily a allergy. So you want to use a fractionated coconut oil with that, right? So if you find that, put coconut oil right over the top of it, or anything else you have, whether it's olive oil, vegetable oil. Now, fractionated coconut oil has small molecules and it soaks into the skin very quickly. Your other oils, like olive oil, the things that you would use in your kitchen all the time, have bigger molecules, and so they have a more heavier fat to them. And they do not soak into your skin very quickly, and that's why they feel greasy afterwards, okay? So it won't soak into your skin very well. So just know that. If you ever get anything in your eyes, don't flush with water. Just use the fractionated coconut oil or something with the fats in it, or use a milk product, yogurt, anything that you would rub over the eyes. Don't ever put anything in the eyes, okay? Very important, don't do that. And never put it down your ear. That's another thing. I know a lot of people do like hydrogen peroxide. I'm like, I don't know how they do that. But don't do that, okay? So that's my little tip for making sure you don't get it, if you ever get anything in your eyes. And we've all done it. I've done it. And you talk about it and you say, don't do that, and you do it anyway. So wait for about 10 to 20 minutes and it will dissipate and it'll go away. Yes, you're going to have tears in the meantime. Just keep your eyes closed best as you can, and then just let it dissipate. It will not blind you, okay? That is speaking through doTERRA, because there's nothing else in the bottle, right? So just keep that in mind. Another thing is too that when you are, like, you can use peppermint for headaches. You put it right here at the temples, okay, and right here in the forehead, because usually our headaches are, this is where that group of tension comes, is right there, right? And so here and here. So this is where you're putting it on the temples. Make sure you only put a little bit on your temples. Don't be rolling it around and then let it drip. Don't let it drip into your eyes. And you can put it behind your ears. Another really good spot for that. Or you can simply smell it and help your help alleviate your headaches. Okay. Okay. So peppermint comes in many different forms. There's the regular bottle, but we have a lot of touch bottles that are called like anything with the word touch comes in a 10 ml bottle, and it has a roller on it. Okay, so this is a roller. This isn't a brand new bottle, but now they have metal bottles on, or metal roller bottles, which I think is better than the plastic. And so this is already, the touch means that it's already mixed with fractionated coconut oil. So if you have little ones at home, or if you have that sensitivity, this is a really good way of getting the essential oil. It's already diluted for you with the fractionated coconut oil. Great thing. Peppermint, we also have a peppermint beadlet, which is great when you're traveling, especially if you are, it comes in a bottle like this, a little bottle. There's about 250 beadlets in there, and they're these little, see if I can show you this. Can you see that? That little tiny beadlet. So that's like 1 drop of essential oil covered with fractionated coconut oil. I know, that's kind of kooky, huh? Like, how do they do that? We should have that as how it's made, right? That would be a fun thing to find out. How is it made? I don't know. I'd like to see it. I've seen the bottling, but I've never seen how they do the beadlets. So fun thing to take around with you, especially if you're traveling a lot, because usually we don't eat properly, or we eat too much rich food, too much carbohydrates, and so our tummy doesn't feel good after. And you can just take a couple of those. Very good for the sinuses too, or if you've got any stuffiness going on, that can help alleviate that a little bit too. So that's another really good, great way to do it. It's already convenient. It's already done for you. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do with peppermint? You can add it to your shampoo. It's really good for the scalp, and it's also really good for hot spots on your dog. I know that sounds like it's the opposite, but really it helps in cooling. So peppermint is good to help cool the body or warm the body. Okay, so if you're really cold, put some peppermint on the back of your neck. It'll warm up. If you're really hot, you put some peppermint on the back of your neck and you feel that cooling sensation. Okay, so the next time you're out working in your yard this summer and you feel overheated, you can do one of two things. There's some great rags that you can get to put around your neck But add some of the peppermint on the back of your neck and then put that rag on there. You'd be amazed at how well you'll feel, and you won't feel like you're getting overheated. That's an important part, so stay hydrated this summer, which is another good thing for peppermint, help you stay hydrated. Put it in a glass of water if you'd like, or make a peppermint tea. And lemon, lavender, and peppermint together are really good antihistamine. I just had a young lady here not too long ago that I don't have Benadryl, because Benadryl is something that if you have a allergic reaction to like horse hair, cat hair, those kinds of things, or outdoor stuff, lemon, lavender, peppermint are my choice, because I'm all about natural. And then, but doTERRA did something beyond that, where they made a product called Try Ease. It's in a little soft gel. I don't have it here with me, but it's 3 drops of each lemon, lavender, peppermint that you can take. So I gave that to her right away, and then have her smell peppermint right away, because that'll help with the itchy eyes. Okay. All right, so lemon, lemon, peppermint together are a great combination, and then we're only touching the surface. There's a lot of other things you can do with it. Adding to that shampoo, stimulate the hair and massage that scalp. So seasonal threats, think about the seasonal threats too. I just told you about someone that had an allergy reaction. I didn't have Benadryl, so I chose to use the Try Ease, because that's what I have. During study, you can diffuse peppermint or even put it on the back of your neck, because that will help in memory recall later. It's awesome for that. And for those of you that are staying up late and have all the homework going on, then this is a good thing for you. It'll help you stay awake a little bit longer, it'll help keep you invigorated, and then it'll also help that memory recall later when you take a test. Okay, so that's lemon, lavender, peppermint. There's so much more we can do for this. Oh, and by the way, lemon will help take away fingernail polish. So if you don't like the smell of that fingernail polish remover, which I don't, this is another great way of being able to use it with lemon. So you can, and then also fractionate coconut oil for makeup remover is extremely great. Just get a pad. Get yourself a jar, and then put your pads in there, and then put fractionate coconut oil in there and soak all your pads. If you don't want them wringing, so wringing wet, you just want them enough to where you can take that pad and get your makeup off. It's a natural way to remove your makeup. You don't need all this other stuff that they have chemicals in. Okay, if you're looking for a natural wellness lifestyle, this is the way to do it. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the On Guard, which is a blend from doTERRA. Love this blend because we have it in so many forms. There are so many good studies about this, and it is a blend of wild orange, clove. Clove is our highest antioxidant out there. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for blood sugars. And then we have eucalyptus. We know that helps support respiratory function. And rosemary, which also helps respiratory function as well, but it's also helpful in keeping bacteria and mold from growing and spreading. So looking at those 5 essential oils that are in that blend and what each one of them does, what On Guard does for us, which is called the Protective Blend. So if you're looking for it online, you can look up On Guard, but you also can look it up as a Protective Blend. There are some great studies out there. If you guys are looking for the scientific evidence of what it can and cannot do, PubMed.org is a way that you can go in there and find the studies that they did with the On Guard. It's really good to help us with inflammation. It's good for as an antibacterial, antiseptic. It also helps in reducing discomfort, and because it has clove in there, it's really good for your as an antioxidant, and that also helps alleviate discomfort. And then cinnamon bark really helps for the circulatory system and our blood sugars. It helps oxygenate your blood cells, your red blood cells. That's a very important topic too, because knowing that that your oxygen levels in your red blood cells are what they should be, the function. It also helps in killing airborne pathogens, and most of your essential oils, when you're diffusing them, will help in killing pathogens that are in the air. So every day, especially during the wintertime when we lock up our doors and our windows, we don't open anything, we really have stagnant air, and everything that comes through on our shoes, our clothes, our hair, is in your home. So how are you going to eliminate some of those pathogens? And diffusing essential oils is a really great way to do that. It also helps with sore throats. You can take it, you can actually apply it and take it internally. This is another one that is met the GRAS standard. And you can just take the lid off, and you can actually just put it under the tongue. I gotta take a drink of water. Okay, hold on. It's very potent because there's cinnamon in there, right? And there's clove. It will make your tongue feel like it's numb. Okay? If you have a sore throat, it's awesome for that. And you can use it with your honey as well. There are also beadlets that you can utilize this with. And so on guard beadlets, if you're traveling, it's a great way to have something to help boost your immune system up, because that's what it is an immune system booster. And if you get around people, or you feel like you're in a room full of people or on an airplane that are coughing or they're not well, a lot of people take airborne or some of those other products. This is a good natural way for you to boost your immune system. Just pop a couple of guard beadlets in your mouth and be on your way, and then afterwards too. You can also put it in a capsule, so if you don't want to take it directly out of the bottle like I just showed you, you can put it in an empty capsule and take it internally, okay? Now, keep in mind, some people will burp up certain, kind of like if you've ever had a fish oil that you didn't like, and you burp up that fish oil, sometimes that will happen in your digestive tract, okay? Once the capsule is disintegrated. So keep that in mind, that you might have that, but that's not a problem, okay? It's just, that that's where the capsule is now burst open and the essential oil is doing its job, all right? So we're helping boost the immune system. We're helping against whether you have seasonal threats, whether you have wintertime threats like your colds and flus. It also helps in supporting during those times. So it's actually reducing inflammation of the body. It's a really wonderful all-around blend. We also have it in a concentrate, which I have it under my sink. I didn't get it out, but it is for, I have spray bottles everywhere in my house. I use these all over because the On Guard cleaning concentrate is made so that you can just put water with it, okay? So it's convenient, it's easy for me, it's cost effective, very economical. And so I have little dogs everywhere, and I have a couple of boys. So you can kind of think, why I have bottles everywhere? Because I clean my house with it. Because they decide that they don't want to go potty where they're supposed to, or go outside and go potty. So I'm constantly cleaning, not just my kitchen, all right? And I have hardwood floors. I took out my carpet and put the floors in. That's the best thing I ever did. So I use that. I also put just a little bit of vinegar with that as well, which is another little, just a little bit more added antibacterial and cleaning, my cleaning regiment that I do. So think about that next time you use it, or think about On Guard cleaning concentrate. We also have, so we have the cleaning concentrate, we have the oil, we have the beadless, we have a On Guard laundry detergent, which is a very good detergent. You don't use very much of it, very highly concentrated, and it does get your laundry clean. We also have an On Guard toothpaste that I absolutely adore, coming from the dental world. I love that. It does not have fluoride in it, and I'm not a fluoride fan. We get too much of that. But sometimes too much of something is not a good thing. And if you ever do the research on fluoride, you'd probably stop using it too. Knowing where it came from, why it came around anyway. And don't get me wrong, it's done some extremely awesome things, okay? But I think we get too much of it, and when we go to and get it a concentrated form of that, I think it can be devastating to us, especially our children. And there have been adverse reactions with that. So you just do your research. So we have all these products, and I'm trying to think, am I missing one? Somehow I think I'm missing one. It also comes out into a roller bottle like the Peppermint does with the On Guard Touch, where it's with the fractionated coconut oil. And if you're trying to battle anything, if you use the Touch, it's already got the fractionated coconut oil in it, and you can just do it directly on the spine. So with this product, since it's got the clove, got the cinnamon, you want to think about putting it on the bottom of your feet. For the most part, some people, if you have the Touch already, then you could put it on your pulse points. You could put it on the back of your neck if you don't have that sensitivity, and know that you don't. So all four of these are a phenomenal arsenal that you can have at home to help battle all kinds of things. And it's great for those kids or those grandkids that come home and you want to make sure that they stay healthy, right? Put it on the bottom of their feet every single night before they go to bed. You'll be amazed at how many kids will want to go to bed when, hey, your first one to bed gets their feet rubbed. Try it. I know a gentleman that has 8 boys and does that. He talks about it all the time. And they can't get to bed fast enough, because that gives you a one-on-one, you know, it gives that special time, that bonding time, but it also helps in help boost their immune system at the same time. So for those of you that love what you're hearing, are you interested in getting these products in your home? There are ways to do this that are very economical and will help you find the best way. Get with the person that shared this video with you and say, hey, I want to know how. If you'd like to join us every single Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I'd love to hear from you. You can also get on my Remind system, which is you simply get the live and replay link. You can have it sent directly to your phone, not your home, but your phone. If you're at home, you're on the phone. You can text the word, the @ at Heavens Oil, HEAVENS oil, OIL, at Heavens Oil, and text it to 81010. Okay, so that's 81010 at Heavens Oil. Okay, and you'll get the live and replay links. Thank you for joining me today, and have a lovely week. We will see you again next week, and we'll see what May brings us. And don't forget, we also have a as supplies last, we have a Mother's Day special this year again. So take a look at that, and it's called Harmony. And it's a really cool little kit. It comes with 3 different products plus your roller bottles, so that you can actually make your own perfume if you'd like. So if you've got mothers that are into that, or yourself, it's a great product to take a look at. Again, it's called Harmony, and it's a 2018 Mother's Day while supplies last. Again, have a great week. We will see you later. Thanks, everyone.